Good evening, all. Hello. Am I audible? all. A very good evening to you. So we'll start the session in another 5 minutes. Okay, we'll wait for some more people to come. Okay, so once again, a warm welcome to you all. So let us start the session. Yeah. So I hope you are all doing good. So first of all, let me revise you on the yesterday's class and whatever happened yesterday, and then we'll continue the session. Okay. Yeah. So we started discussing about what is problem solving. So if you have any doubts in and there, I will open my chat box. You can just put your queries in the chat box, or you can even unmute and then answer the queries. Okay. I'll be answering to you. Fine. So yeah. So first of all, we saw what is actual meaning for problem solving. Okay. And then we saw a few examples. Okay. And then we saw why we're learning Python. Okay. And then the version of Python which are using is 3.5. And then we saw what are the three different types of languages: low level language, mid level language, and high level language. And we saw what is the purpose of a compiler, what it does. And then so we saw what is actually a comment statement. Okay. And then we saw how to print a statement, and then we saw two parameters of the print statement, okay, which is end and then separator. And then we started seeing about the variables. Okay, so we saw what is a token. So actually token is each and every word present in a program is called a token. And these are five different types of tokens. And the first one is the identifier, which is a variable. And we saw what is a variable. So variable is actually a container where we store data. And then in Python, we have an advantage. Okay, so we saw like how to store a variable, how to store a value to a variable just by using the assignment operation. And then we saw these are all not correct. Okay, because print and then if are all keywords. Okay, so we cannot use them for like assigning as a variable. And then we saw certain rules for defining the variable name. Okay, and these are the different rules that we should follow for giving a variable name. And then we saw what is a data type and what are the different types of data types available in Python. Okay, none, under number we have three data types. Okay, and then we saw a sequence data type. So what is a sequence data type? We have multiple data under a single name, and then these are the different sequence data types. Okay. And then so this is how we declare a variable and then define it in other languages. First we give the data type to that variable and then we assign the value. So whereas in Python, there is a concept called dynamic typecasting. So where we just assign a value to the variable, the Python will automatically interpret and then understands the type of variable that we are trying to use. Okay, so we saw how to see the data type of a particular variable using the type function. Okay, so using the type method, we saw how to find the data type of a particular variable. So first the print statement, we print the age, and then we saw what is the data type of that particular variable. Then string, and then we value with some other value like this as well. Okay, so first age was an integer, now age is a string, right? So we are assigning a string to that particular variable. Yeah, and then we saw how to like if you want to get multiple inputs. Okay, if you want to get multiple inputs in a single statement, single line. Okay, so how to get it? So first of all, I told you that input is a function that is used to get the input from the user, and then it will always take a string as input. Okay, so if we want that string to be converted to an integer, we do this process. Okay, so we convert it to an integer. If we want it to as a string, we convert as a string just by replacing this int with a float. As simple as that. Okay, so now this will take only one input, right? So one input function. So here, if there are multiple inputs to be given in a single function, single line, so what we have to do is we have to use the map function. That is what I explained over here, and this is the final statement. So using map of integer, which is the data type which you want actually. Okay, and then this is the input function that will take the input from the user, for example 23, 34, 45, and then using split function we are splitting it into three variables, three values, and that for each value integer will be applied, and that will be mapped to E, F, and G. Okay, and then we saw different ways of formatting the print statement. Okay, one we do it normally, okay, just by putting the print string inside the print statement, and here we have the percentage using the format specifier. Also you can uh, use the print statement. Okay, so wherever you want to replace a particular, yeah, just a minute. I hope it is okay now. So here in this print statement, we use a format specifier, and then if we want to to print two decimal values or one decimal value, we have something called 0.1f or 0.2f or 0.3f. Okay, so like that we can use the different ways of using the format specifier, and these are the three different format specifiers available. And then another way of formatting is using the format function. Okay, so if you want to replace this particular area with some other variable, we use this format function. So these set brackets are used as the delimiters for replacing variables. Okay, the first one with the first value, second with second, and third with third. Suppose if you want to like rearrange, okay, first you want uh, so index will start from 0, right? So this index will start from 0. So here we have the index. A's index is 0, B's index is 1, and C's index is 2. Okay, so A's index is 0 means like if you want 0th index value to be placed at the second position, you do like this. Okay, so first 1, and then you have 0, and then 2. So now what happens is first B would be placed over here, and then A would be placed in this position, and then C would be placed in this position. Okay. And then we started with operators. Okay, the first operator which we saw was the arithmetic operator, and then these are the different arithmetic operators available in Python. And so yeah, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, we have the same purpose. And I told you what would happen if you use the division operator. If you use the division operator, what happens? You would get the float value as well. Okay, if you give 5 divided by 2, you will get 2.5. Suppose you want only the integer part of it. Okay, so 4.2.5 means you want only 2. So for that, what you do is use the floor division. Okay, this double slash is used as a floor division operator. Okay, yeah, here we saw. And then we saw this percentage is used to find the remainder after doing the division. Okay, so 10 mod 6. So what would be the remainder if we divide 10 by 6? 4 will be answer, right? So this would produce 4. And this is the power operator. 5 to the power 3. Okay. And then we saw the Bodmas rule. So where if we have multiple operators in a single expression, so there will be a confusion. So this is what the confusion, right? So we have three different values for the same expression. So to avoid this confusion, so the confusion is also called as ambiguity, right? So to avoid this ambiguity, we use this Bodmas rule. So where B stands for brackets, O for order, D for division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So here we have addition, multiplication, and subtraction. So first we have to apply multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. Okay. And then we just saw an example and how this is decoded step by step we saw. And finally, the output for answer for this expression will be 207. And then finally, we saw about the assignment operator. So it is nothing but an equal to sign, okay, where the right hand side value will be assigned to the left hand side variable. Okay. And with respect to assignment operator, we have the shorthand notation as well. So where this kind of equation can be written like this. So this is an updation operation, right? So the value of A has to be increased by 5. That is, we are adding 5 to A itself and storing it back to A, right? So for doing this, we can simply put A plus equal to 5. Both will do the same operation. And then, so like one more thing we have to understand is if there are operators with, suppose if the expression is like 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so as human beings, we know that if we do it from left to right or right to left, both would give the same answer. But we should instruct the computer whether to make it from left to right or from right to left, right? Okay, so certain operators will have the order from left to right, and certain operators will have the order from right to left. Okay, so this you can Google it and find out which all operators have the like will operate from left to right and which all operators will operate from right to left. Okay, and this was one expression we saw. So where the operation was happening from right to left. Okay, so first 1 to the power 3 was evaluated. Okay, and then after that the answer was 1, and so 3 to the power 1 was calculated. Okay, so 3 to the power 1 is again 1, again 3. So the output for this was 3. Okay, so any doubts you have in the previous session? Any doubts? So after 7, okay, so we can have
Hello,
a doubt
sir.
clearance session with respect to programming questions.
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
so with respect to programming questions, we can have the doubt clearance session after 7 o'clock. Okay, now with respect to concept, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. The I practice problems, we'll discuss it after 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir. I have in practice.
Yeah, I practice doubts. I'll clear it to you after 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I already do the number 1 and 2 and 3. Number 4, it said to me pass, but when I submitted it, it say wrong.
Uh-huh. Fourth problem, we have doubt, right?
Okay.
We have
Uh,
a doubt in
you,
fourth
you
problem.
want me to share the screen so you can see how is it?
Okay, so we'll discuss fourth problem. You want me to discuss it now itself, or
Okay, sir.
okay? No, like one thing we can do. Let me finish cover up today's topic.
Okay.
Okay, fine. We'll come to the discussion session or doubt clearance session after 7 o'clock.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Okay, so the format identifier, can you just take a minute to go over again
Yeah, sure,
and,
sure.
and explain how different it is from the round function?
This one, right?
Yes,
This.
that very one. How different is it from the round function? Because in one of the assignments, I was using the round to get
Hmm.
a number of decimal places. So if we can just take an example again and see how it works.
No, see, actually, round function and the format specifier will do the same work, same job. So even this would do the round off. I will just show you an example.
Okay, let's do an example.
Yeah. Suppose I have a is equal to 12.3. Print percentage 0.2 f percentage a print round off a. Okay, so both will be the same output. 0.2f, which is also rounding off, and then this round function is also rounding off 12.25.
And can we concatenate this with other strings? Maybe a string like the
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
is.
So which one you want to concatenate? The first one or
Let's
second one?
concatenate at the right side. Let's join the text with at the right side.
Okay. So this is actually
Comma.
yeah.
Let's say comma. Okay. Is the answer okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You can also use plus for concatenation. I'll just try it out.
But
Yeah.
that'll give an error.
So if you use plus, then there will be no space. If you use comma, there will be space because the default separator is space, right?
But this is strange, sir. Just a minute. The A as printed out is now a float. How then are we able to concatenate a float with a string? And it's not giving us an error.
No. Actually, this should be visualized as a string. Okay, so whatever is
it's formatted as a string. Okay.
Yeah, whichever comes within double quotes is a string.
Okay.
So if I assign a int value to a, then
I'm sorry.
Correctly.
Yeah. Choyan. Yeah, Choyan. Choyan, what is your doubt, Choyan? You're not able to get you.
I want to say that if I assign an int value to a, then will round function work correctly? I mean,
you want to make a as an integer and then apply round. You can just try it out. Yeah. So round function, see, if I give 12 point something 1, so only if there is decimal points this round will work. Okay, see, you can see only 12 is being printed. Okay, so in the questions it will be specified that there should be 2 decimal points. Okay, if that is the case, then you have to use this type only. You have to use percentage point to f. Okay, then only 100 will be printed as 100.00, so on like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, so now let us go to today's topic. So we have to continue with the operators first. Okay. So once we complete these operators, then we'll see about conditional statements and the loop. Okay. So the last class we stopped till assignment operators, right? So assignment operators, and then we have the relational operator. So relational operator is used to like relate two variables. Okay, so the relational operators are greater than, less than, I'll just move the comma, greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, double, equal to, and then not equal to. So these are the different relational operators available. So as the you can see, you can get it from the symbols itself, right? Greater than symbol. So you just compare the left side variable and right side variable. If both, okay, so the output for this is going to be a Boolean value. Boolean means it's going to be either true or false. Okay, so if the comparison is true, then you'll get the output as true. The comparison is false, then you get the output as false. So what would be the output for this print statement? Yeah, false. Okay, fine. So like that. So every operator we can just any doubts in this? You got it right. So I hope this is very simple. Right? So the output for the relational operator is going to be a true or false Boolean value. Next comes the logical operator. So in respect to logical operator, there are three operators: AND operator, OR operator, and then NOT operator. So those who are familiar with electronics, okay, I hope this will be easy for them. They would have studied about AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. Okay, so we have something called as the truth table. Yeah, I'll just explain you what is the truth table. Okay, so first the AND gate. So AND operator will take two inputs. Okay? So input A, input B, and you will have a result. Okay, I mark it as R. So input for this AND gate are going to be Boolean values. Okay, Boolean values means what? It is either going to be true or a false. Okay, so if the inputs are going to be only true or false, what are the various combinations possible for this input? Okay, so one is both A and B are false. Okay, and the other one is A is false, B is true. And now A is true, B is false, and then A is true, B is also true. Okay, so with respect to AND gate, only if both the inputs are false, the result will be false. Okay, sorry. Only if both the inputs are true, the result will be true. In all other cases, the result is going to be false. Okay. So this is the first gate. Okay. So if both the inputs are true, then the output is going to be true. And right. So if both are true, then the output is going to be true. For example, like can you tell me a number which is divisible by both 3 and 7?
21.
Any number. Yeah, great. Okay. So here and works. So can you, okay, now let's see OR operator. A, B. That is it. So these are going to be the combinations. Okay. So here only if both are false, the output is going to be false. All others are going to be true. Okay. So can you tell me a number which is divisible by okay 3 or 7?
The
Lot
answer
of
should be
numbers.
true.
21 is also the answer. Is 9?
That should
42.
be true.
Both should be true. Then only, okay, both should be false. Then only it is false. Okay, so if is 10 the correct answer? Divisible by either 3 or 7. That is the question. Is 10 the correct answer?
No.
No, right? Okay, so we have 7 is the correct answer. Okay, we have 12 is also the correct answer because it is by 3. So here it is an OR condition, right? Any one is true, then it is true. And then you have the NOT operator. For NOT operator, you have only one input. Okay, and then we have the output. So if the input is true, the output is false. The output input is false, the output is true. Okay. So this is the truth table for the logical operators. Okay, so when do we use these logical operators is that, suppose we have a situation where you want to combine two relational expressions. Okay, just now I told, right? To check whether number is divisible by 3 or 7. Okay, so how will you write an expression for this? Suppose the number is n. Okay, I can give any number to this n. Okay, I want to write an expression to validate this statement. So how to write an expression for this? Can you tell me? The output is just true or false. If I give n as 12, the output should be true, right? So what should come inside the print statement?
True.
No. N can be any value. Okay, let me get it from the user. Int of input enter a number. Okay, so the user will give a number and I want to check whether this number is either divisible by 3 or by 7.
In module 3 is equals to 0, or in module 7 is equals to 0.
Correct. N modulo 3 equals to 0. Okay, double equal to 0. Because this is the relational operator, right? If you do single equal to, that is assignment operator. Or n modulo 7 is equal to 0. Right? Enter a number, I give 12, so I get true. I give 10, I get false. I give 14, I get true. And I give 21, I get true. Okay, fine. So this is how you will use the relational expression. Okay, so I told you, right, this logical operator is used to combine. Okay, so the logical operators are used to combine two relation expressions. Okay. And then you have the bitwise operator. So in bitwise operator, we have and. Okay, this is bitwise and. We have bitwise or, bitwise not, and then have one more symbol XOR, and you have the right shift and then the left shift operation. Okay, so to understand this, let me take you to the Excel sheet. Okay, so bitwise, as the name suggests, so what we're going to do is we're going to make the operation with respect to bit level. Okay, so what is actually a bit? So the bit is the least divisible memory location. Okay, so bit. So how many bits is equal to 1 byte?
8 bits is equals to 1 byte.
Yeah, 1 byte, 8 bits. Okay, so like that we can keep on. See, 1 kilobyte is equal to how many bits?
0 to 4 byte.
How many bytes? Not bits, how many bytes?
Uh, 128 byte.
No, it is actually
1024 bits.
yes, correct.
Yes,
1024.
1024. Yeah.
So what is this number 1024?
That's 2 raised to the power.
Hmm.
2 raised to the power.
Raised to the power? Yes.
So just a minute. Raised to the power.
You can see some answers in the chat box.
Raised to the power.
This 2 raised to the power 10.
Yes, 2 raised to the power 10.
Okay. So this is close to 1000. See, usually like if you take other like units like liters, kilograms, all those things will be 1000, rounded off to 1000, right? Whereas why is it rounded off to 1024? Why not 1000 bits is equal to 1 kilobyte? Sorry, 1000 bytes is equal to 1 kilobyte. Why not? It is not that convention. Very simple reason is it should be something to the power of 2. Then why that? Then only it will be easily divisible. Okay, because the like so 1 bit means what? 1 bit means it can hold either 0 or 1. Okay, so one location can hold 2 values, either 0 or 1. So only if it is a power of 2, then only we can see it will be very useful. Like how to say that is these many amount of different informations can be stored within this 8 bits, within this 1 kilobyte. That's what is the meaning. Okay, and one more thing is it is close to 1000. That's why 2 power 10 has been taken as 1 kilobyte. So likewise, then 1 MB. Okay, see capital B is used to represent byte. Okay, small b is used to represent bit. Okay, and capital M is used to represent mega, right? Small m is used to represent mini or millibytes. Okay, so here 1 megabyte is equal to
1024 kilobyte.
yeah. Okay, so then we have after that we have GB, then we have TB, then we have PB. Okay, like that it goes on. Okay, fine. So now, as per our conversion, what we're going to do is we have integer and we have float. In Python, we don't have something called character. Okay, so we call this a string only. So, but what is a character is? Suppose you have a string. Okay, suppose name. Okay, like, so you can take any name. Yeah, so here you have C equal to HI, right? So here H is a character, I is a character. So two characters form this string called C, right? So in the memory, I will not be stored in a single cell. H will be stored in a single cell and I will be stored in another cell. Okay, so that is how it will be. We have to see with respect to memory. So the least if we split a string, we have, if we split a string, here's some noise. So if we split a string, we get characters, right? So character is the least possibility. So for integer, we're going to consider 2 bytes. So just for our conversion, okay? So we'll be like playing with memory a lot. That's why. So actually it depends on compiler. It changes from compiler to compiler. So character it is 1 byte. Okay. So now, so just for simplicity, let us take 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte means 8 bits, right? Okay, this is 8 bits. So how will you represent a number in bit formulation? Okay, that is in binary formulation. For example, let us take a simple number 10. Okay, A is equal to 10. So 10 is a decimal value, right? So I want to represent this 10 in binary format. So what is the binary format of A? Yeah, correct. So it is 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 1, 0, 1, 0. So what is the binary? Let us make this as A. So what is it for 22? So if people have any doubts in how to convert a decimal value to binary value, you can tell me, I can explain. What is the decimal value for, sorry, binary value for 22? See, it's very simple actually. See, I'll just write the indices over here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? So it is 8-bit format. So I'm just writing it out right like this. Okay. So what is 2 raised to the power of this value, index value? That one we will write it over here. So what is 2 raised to the power 0? It is 1. Okay. 2 raised to the power 1 is 2. 2 raised to the power 2 is 4. And then 8, 16, 32, 64, then 128. Right? Okay. Now we have 10, right? So what is the smallest value? smallest value which is greater than, or sorry, the largest value, I'm sorry, which is the largest value that is less than or equal to 10. Okay, the largest value that is less than or equal to 10 is 8, right? Okay, so I put a 1 over here. Now after that, I just subtract 8 from 10. Sorry, yeah, I subtract 8 from 10. The balance value is 2, right? Again, do the same process. Okay, if you again do the same process, the smallest value, which is, sorry, the largest value, which is less than or equal to 2 is 2 only, right? So I put a 1 over here. Then the remainder value is 0. Then that's it. Okay, that's why you have 1 over here and then 1 over here. Rest all are zeros. So let us do the same thing over here. Okay, this is actually very simple. Just understand. First, is 128 less than 22? No. So put a 0. Is 64 less than 22? No. 0. Is 32 less than or equal to 22? No. 0. Is 16 less than 22? Yes. So put a 1 over here. So if I subtract 16 from 22, the remaining value will be 6, right? Okay, 22 minus 16 is 6. So 6. Now do the same operation with 6. Is 8 less than or equal to 6? No. Put a 0. Is 4 less than or equal to 6? Yes. So put a 1. Now you subtract. So this 22 I got turned as 6, right? And then if you subtract 4 from 6, balance would be 2, right? Is 2 less than or equal to 2? Yes. So put a 1 over here. And then we have the balance value is 0. So that's it. 0. Understood? So a simple method to convert decimal value to a binary value. Okay. So this is the binary representation of 22. Okay. Now the reverse process would be converting a binary to a decimal value. Okay. So wherever there is 1, you just take all these values and then add them. Okay. So here we have 2, right? So 2 plus 4 plus 16, that would give you 22. Got it? So this is how you will convert a binary value to a decimal value. Here also, if you see, you have 2 and then 8, right? So 2 plus 8 is 10. So you have 10 over here. Got it? So this is the conversion process. Yeah. So now let us see about the various. Any doubts in this, anyone? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us do some bitwise operations. The first one is the ampersand. That is the AND operator. Okay. So what is A bitwise AND B? So as the name suggests, we are going to apply like the operation bitwise. Okay, bitwise means each and every cell is a bit, right? So we are going to apply AND operation on each and every bit. Okay, so what is 0 and 0? What is 0 and 0?
0.
0. So 1 and 1?
1.
1. 0 and 1?
0.
0. 1 and 0?
0.
0. 0 and 1?
0.
0. And rest all are zeros only. So you have zeros. Okay. So now what is the output of this? So this is what is the binary format, but I want the output in decimal value, right? So what is the decimal value for this binary value? Two. Yeah. So I think Samuel is having a doubt. So for 22, see, okay. So see, first 22 minus 16, we have 6, right? And we have 4, balance would be 2. This is correct only. Samuel, still do you have doubts or? Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is the 2 is a decimal value for A and B. Okay. A bitwise and B. Now coming to the next A bitwise or B. Okay. So now tell me what is the decimal value for binary value for A and B. So here 0 or 0. It is
0,
0. 1 or 1?
1,
1. 1 or 0 or 1? 1. 1 or 0?
1,
So 1. 0 or 1 is again 1. And then rest all
0.
zeros.
0.
Yeah. So what is the decimal value for this? So wherever there is 1, you can just do an addition.
$30.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So again, so 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2. See, this kind of addition will be very simple if you try to group them. Okay. So 16 plus 4 will get 20. Again, 8 plus 2 will get 10. Right? So 20 plus 10, 30. So very simple, just add on. I'll just write it over here again. Okay, so 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2. Add all those, you get 30. Yeah, any doubts? This is A or B. Okay. And then next is, so not operator. Not operator will work with a single value. So what it does is, all the zeros will be converted to ones and all the ones will be converted to zeros. That's it. Okay. So now we are not going to see what would be the answer for this, because internally, okay, so if the last bit is 1, that sign changes, all this one's complement, two's complement, all those things to be taken, right? If the last bit is 1. So like if you do a not operation, sorry, this is not the answer. If you do a not operation on A, okay, all the zeros should be converted as 1, right? So 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So to know the output, you can just put print of not A. Okay, you will get the answer. Now coming to the XOR operation. For XOR also, we have to see the truth table. So the truth table for XOR is XOR also takes 2 inputs. Okay, so what happens with respect to XOR is, if both the symbols are same, you will get a 0. 0 or false. See here, what we are doing is, we are considering, I forgot to mention that, we are considering 0 as false and then 1 as true. Okay, so we are considering 0 as false and 1 as true. That is why I have not written true or false over here. I have written 0, 1. So here, if both the symbols are same, you will get false. Okay, so here both symbols are same. Here also both the symbols are same. And here, so they are different, right? Then you get a true. If both the symbols are different, then you get a true. Both the symbols are same, you get a false. Okay, so keeping this in mind, can you tell me what would be the binary value for A XOR B? So here 0 XOR 0. Answer is both are same, right?
False.
So both are same. What is the output?
0.
Yeah, 0. So here 1 XOR 1.
0.
Yeah. So here 0 XOR 1.
1.
1.
1.
XOR 0. 1. 0 XOR 1.
and all
One.
false 0.
And the rest all are 0 zeros, right? So 0 0 0. Yeah. So what is the decimal value for this?
28.
28. Yeah. So 16 plus 8 plus 4. You get 28. Yeah. So now I would give you an assignment. So the assignment is that, see, these three are the basic, the and, or, and not. Okay. These three are the primitive binary operations. Okay. Binary operators. Okay. So this is a derived operator. Okay. Derived operator in the sense, this is a combination of and, or, and not. Okay. Some combination of and, or, and not. I want you people to find out after doing what combination you will get the or operation. Okay. So the question is very simple. So what is XOR using the other operators? Okay. And or not. I'll repeat again. See, this and, or, and not, these three are the primitive operations. Okay. So using these primitive operations, we can achieve this XOR operation. I'm asking how. What expression using this and, or, and not will give you XOR? Okay. So this is your assignment. In the next class, we'll discuss about this, and I would like to get the answers from you as well. Okay. And here we have the next two operators, the right shift and left shift. These two operators are very interesting operators. There's a which will greatly reduce the complexity of larger calculations. Okay, I'll tell you how. So let us take 10, or we'll take a smaller number. Okay, let's take C is equal to 5. Okay, so what is the binary value for C? What is the binary value for C? For 5. Binary value for 5. Yeah, so it is 5 zeros followed by 1 0. Correct. Now, I'm going to apply the left shift operation first. Okay. So if I apply left shift operation, first of all, what is left shift? So here, this is a left shift operator, and then I will mention how many times I should left shift. Okay, this can be any number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, any integer value. It cannot be a float value, it should be an integer value. Okay, left shift means you are shifting all the bits towards the left hand side by these many number of times. Okay, so I have given 1, so all the bits will be shifted to the left hand side by 1 time. So here what happens is, this is the last bit, right? The 7th bit. So this should go to the 8th position. There is no 8th position, right? So what happens? This will get discarded. Okay, this is out of the range, so this will get discarded. So the 0 will get discarded, and then this 0 will comes to the 7th position, and just write the positions here. Okay, and this will come to the 5th element. Okay, will come to 6th, like that. All the elements will get shifted towards the left by once. So can you tell me what will be the binary value here? What's the binary value?
0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0
1 0 1 0. So how the 0 came is, you have shifted the 0th bit to the first position, right? So this is empty now. So what you should do is, you should put a 0 over here. Okay, fine. So how the 0 came understood, right? So it is the last 0 bit moved to the first position. So this is empty. So I'm filling that with 0. So this is not moving circularly. You should understand that aspect. If here you have a 1, okay, and if you do a left shift, what happens is this 1 go and sit on the 8th position. You don't have any 8th position, so it will get discarded. This is not circularly go and sit at 0th location. Okay, remember that. Fine. So this is the binary value you're getting for C left shift 1. So what is the decimal value?
10.
Yeah. Correct. So now let us proceed with the same operation. If we do C left shift 2, so what is the binary value? We are referring C only, right? Not this one. With respect to C, what is C left shift 2? First, the binary value, please. Yeah. 0, 1, 0, 1, 00. So we are shifting 2 times, right? So what will happen to seventh bit? Will go and sit in the 9th position. There is no 9th position, so it will get discarded. Similarly, 6th element will move to the 8th position. There is no 8th position, so it will get discarded. So like that it goes on, and then 0th bit will go and sit on the 2nd position, and the 1st and 0th positions will be empty. So we are filling that with 0. Okay. So what is the decimal? What is the decimal value for this? Is it 48? No, it is not 48 somewhere. It is 20. Yeah, correct. Correct. So it is nothing but 16 plus 4, okay, 20. Now let us proceed. Left shift 3. So decimal value is going to be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Yeah. So what is the decimal value?
It's 40.
Yeah, super. Great. So it is 40. So it's nothing but 32 plus 8. Okay. So what is C left shift 4? So what would be the answer without putting the decimal binary value? Can you tell me what would be the answer? Yeah, correct. So can you infer from this what exactly is happening? Okay, so before that, what is C left shift 0? What is C left shift 0?
5.
5 only. Correct. So we're not shifting by any number of times, right? We're shifting by 0 number of times. So the same answer. We get 0 only. Sorry, 5 only. So what exactly is happening? Can you see? From 5, we shifted, yeah, into 2 every time. Yeah. So this is correct, but into 2 every time, that is with respect to the previous number. Can you tell me what is happening with respect to 5? With respect to the starting numbers? With respect to C, how you are getting these values? 10, 20, 40, 90. What should we do to 5 so that we get 10? Like that. What should we do to yes.
5 into 2 powers.
Powers? Very good. So this is nothing but 5 into 2. I'm using double star for power, okay? Into 1. Sorry, 2 to the power 1. Okay, so this is what? This is 5 into 2 to the power 0. And this is 5 into 2 to the power 3, sorry, 2. Okay, 5 into 2 to the power 3. Like that it goes on. Okay, so what is C left shift n? Where n can be any number. Five into
2 to the power n.
yeah, C to the power n. Good. So now, like, so which is like computationally costly? Can you tell me which is costly? Is shifting operation costly or finding the power and then multiplying it with 5, which is costly with respect to calculation?
Shifting.
Is shifting costly
Yeah.
or calculating the power and then multiplying is costly?
Calculating the power.
Why?
Because then you have to calculate the power first. Then we'll multiply with the basic number.
Yes. See, actually, a lot of operations happen if you calculate the power, right? So power is nothing but repeated multiplication. Suppose n is 5, you have to multiply 5 times. After that, you have to multiply that with 5. And even multiplication is not a simple process. It is nothing but multiple additions. Okay, that multiple addition is nothing but multiplication. Right? So this is very simple. We're just shifting all the bits this number of times. This will take a constant time. Right? If you just provide n how many times to shift, it will shift as many number of times. So what we have to infer here is, if this kind of operation is given, okay, you need not perform or you not calculate so what first you have to find the 2 power n and then you have to multiply it with 5. So instead of doing that, just shift it n number of times. Okay. So fine. So this is one thing. And then now, any doubts in this? People understood how the shift operation is working? Okay, that's great.
Can you explain the applicability of this thing?
Okay, so applicable, where we are applying this.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this shift operation, as I told you, this is one example where the time for calculation is being reduced. Okay, so this bitwise operation, not only this shift operation, all the bitwise operations will try to reduce the time as well as memory. While going to these algorithm concepts, okay, in the later sessions, we'll be using this shift operations to reduce the time complexity and the space complexity.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'll explain that in detail when.
Okay, thank you.
As of now, this is one example. Yeah. So if you have understood this, I'll give you one more assignment. So I wanted to find out what is the equivalent operation for right shift. Okay, so this is the equivalent operation for left shift, right? Similarly, I wanted to find out what is the equivalent operation for right shift. This is your second assignment. Okay, so this is all about operators. Now let us go to the next topic. So the next two topics will come under the common name called control statements. So control statements, why the name control statements is, this is actually like a brain for a program. Okay, fine. So the following two topics are going to act like a brain for a program. They will control the flow of a program. Okay, so based on some conditions. Okay, so we'll take a decision whether to go to that, whether to execute that particular statement or not, or how many times you want to execute that statement. Okay, fine. So the two concepts are conditional statements. The second one is looping statements. So these two are very simple concepts. Only thing is where to apply and how to use them to apply for a question. That is the most tricky thing. Okay, so like it is like making a decision. Okay, so in real life also we have a lot of conditions, we're repeating a lot of words. Okay, so you can take your own job. Okay, so it is a looping process, right? Every day morning you wake up, brush your teeth, okay, and then have your breakfast, go to office, come back, refresh, okay, do some relaxation and then sleep. This is a repeating process. This goes on from Monday to Friday. Okay, so if it is Monday to Friday, we follow a certain process. If it is a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, we have a different process. So there you apply a condition. Okay, so if you go to a railway station, okay, you will not take all the trains, right? You have a condition. You have a destination place to go, right? You choose which train to take, right? There you apply a condition. So everywhere you will be applying a condition, right? Okay. So even the mechanical things are there. So you switch on a fan till the switch is off. Okay, it keeps on rotating. Similarly, we have the mixer. Okay, so we can give a lot of examples of this. So everywhere we can see this conditional looping statements taking place. So this is where you make a decision and then like take it forward. Okay. So conditional statements, under conditional statements, we have the if condition, which is also called as a simple if. And then the else if or if else. And then you have cascaded if else, also called as if else ladder. And then you have the nested if else. Four different ways in which you apply this conditional statement, and we'll come to looping statements later. Now let us, we'll take it forward with respect to example. Okay. First of all, I'll tell you the syntax. So if is a keyword, and if will be followed by a condition. Okay, condition is nothing but we have the relational operators to make the decision, right? Greater than, less than, equal to. Okay, using all these, you will prepare a condition. Okay, so and after that you have a colon. See here, if followed by a condition, and then you have a colon. Now what happens here is, and you have a colon means in Python there is no concept called brackets. Okay, so bracket have a different meaning. So in other languages, if you are familiar with other languages, to block a particular set of statements, use brackets. Whereas in Python, these brackets are used to define a set or a dictionary. Okay, so we won't be using these brackets for blocking in the sense like defining a block. Okay, so whereas we use the indentation. So what do you mean by indentation? The space which you give here is called indentation. Okay, so this indentation can be defined as per your wish. Either it can be a single space or a double space or a single tab, whatever it is, you can define it by your own, but it should be followed for the entire program, at least for that particular block. Else, see, if you give if you give a space in the first line, the second line if you give two spaces, and the third line if you give a tab, so the system will get confused under which block these set of statements come under. So what you do is, for this entire block, you have to follow a single indentation order. Okay, so it is better if you use a single tab. Okay, so it looks, if you give a space, you may not, you might find it difficult whether the indentation is present or not, right? So to avoid confusion, just give a tab. That's it. Okay, so now, so we can have multiple statements under the if condition, right? So all the statements which fall under if condition should come with a single indentation. Statement 1, statement 2, like that it goes on. And wherever you find that the if condition is done, you just remove the indentation and then you just write the main program. Statement 4, statement 5, like that it goes on. These three statements will come under the if condition, and these two statements, statement 4 and statement 5, does not fall under the if condition. Why? Because I have removed the indentation, right? And these three statements are there. Statement 1, 2, and 3 will get executed only if this condition is true. Okay, so we can take a simple example. Okay, so it is the election season in India. Okay, so I'll take the same example. So here the eligibility for a person to vote is that his age should be greater than 18. Okay, so what I would do is I just get the age of the person. Okay, the simple if is that if the age is greater than 18, if it is equal also, it is fine. Greater than or equal to 18, just print eligible to vote. Okay, and here I will put a simple print statement. Welcome. Just to find which is executing, which is not executing. Okay. Now, if I execute, it is asking me to enter the age, and I give 20, and it is saying that eligible to vote. Okay. If I give 13, it does not print eligible to vote because the condition is false. Got it? This is simple if statement. Now, let us add more conditions to it. So, the eligibility criteria for a person to stand in an election. So, this is eligibility to vote, right? So, eligibility criteria to stand in an election as a candidate is he should be greater than 25. He should be greater than 25. Okay, only then he can stand in an election. Okay, so now I want to check whether the person is eligible to stand in an election. Okay, both in election as well as to vote or just to vote. Okay, now, so I am going to write one more if condition, else if. So I told you else if here, right? So how to use that else if is that elif is the short form for else if. Okay, elif age is greater than or equal to 25. Print can vote and stand in election. Okay, so kindly analyze this 2-3 lines of code and tell me whether this is a correct statement or not, correct program or not. Will this work as expected or not? If yes, then fine. If no, can I justify? Why not? Okay, Samuel is telling correct. Is there anyone telling it's not correct? Yeah, Raju Swati is telling it is wrong. Yes, Swati, can you justify why it is wrong? That should be a tab space where yeah, I think Manisha has given the correct answer. Even 25 is greater than 18. So, see, as per our requirement, if I give age is 30, I want to get the output as can vote and stand in election, right? Manisha, can you unmute and explain? Okay, fine, no problem. See, yeah, so here, if I give 30 as the input, as the age, so what happens is this condition itself is false. See, correct, right? This condition itself is correct. So what happens? It will directly tell that eligible to vote. It does not even go to the second condition at all.
Age less than or equal.
Yeah, as this condition itself is true. So why should I go to the second condition? Okay. So that is the reason this will be printed and this will not be printed. I can just execute and show it to you. If I give 30, see, I should get can vote and stand in election, right? Whereas I'm getting eligible to vote. So we should be very careful while defining the conditions. So here there is an overriding happening, right? So here I have age greater than 18, which overrides this age greater than 25. So this age greater than 25 is a subset of age greater than 18. So if I put it after this condition, there is no meaning, right? Okay, because age greater than 25 is a subset. Okay, this will cover up all the things which are coming under this age greater than 25. So what I should do? I should just interchange the conditions. So here I have to put an if and here elif. Now if I execute the code, I give 30, you can see can vote and stand in action. This is what is coming as the output. Okay, now again I execute and I give 20. So you're getting eligible to vote. Why? Because the first condition is false. The second condition is true. Okay, understood? Samuel, did you get it? Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so why can't we put that age should be greater than or equal to 18 and less than 25 in the first condition, and if age is greater than 25 in the second condition?
Yeah, that is also correct. Okay, so if the second condition is not a subset, then that would be correct. Okay, so this is one way. Another way is you just write greater than equal to 18 and age is less than 25.
Sir, but excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
If you're adding age is less than 25, he is eligible to vote. But even if it is more than 25, he will be eligible to vote, no?
Yeah, that's what I've written over here. Can vote and stand in election.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So here you can see eligible to vote will be, this will be correct because this is not, okay, this the second condition is not the subset of first condition. Okay, then the output will be correct. Okay. Now if you see, if I give 30, the output is coming correct. But if you see with respect to the time taken, so here an additional comparison is happening, right? One additional comparison, okay, and then a logical operator. Two operations are happening extra, okay? So both are correct, but the optimal solution is this one. Sorry. Why this is the optimal solution is here also there is only one comparison. Here also there is only one comparison. Okay, so maximum two comparisons we come to know what is the answer. Whereas in the previous case, there should be two comparisons in the first condition and on the logical operator, and there is one more comparison in the else if part. Okay, but both are correct answers. Okay, there is no mistake. Fine. So this is like else if, and yeah. So let us add few more conditions. Okay. So there's a possibility. Okay, I'll write an else condition just to give an additional message. Okay, that you're not eligible to vote. Okay. Right. To end. Fine. So the else part, I am just writing to end. That's it. So when does this else part get executed? If the age is what? Can you tell me when does this to end be
Less
coming
than
at your
18.
less than? Less
When,
than 18.
when 18, when both the conditions are false.
Correct. So if I give less than 18, then both the conditions are false. You'll get to end as the output. Okay. So this is if else ladder. Can you see the formation of ladder? So if you have multiple conditions to get evaluated, you do like this. Okay. So this is called cascaded or if else ladder. Now there is a possibility that the user can give an incorrect age, invalid age actually. Invalid age in the sense, if he gives a negative number is not considered as a correct age, right? Or the age cannot be 1000 or 2000 like that. We have to set a lower bound as well as an upper bound. Okay. So if see one more thing, you can also use brackets for giving conditions. Okay. So age is greater than 120. Let us set 120 as the upper bound for age limit, and age is less than, and age is greater than or equal to 0. Now I want these statements to get executed if this condition is true. Okay, so what should I do is I should make these come under this if condition, right? So I should give tab for each and every statement. Okay, so I have selected everything and I just give a press a tab so that everything comes with one tab extra, right? So now what happens? This becomes a block under this if condition. Okay. Now, so this is the correct age range. Okay, if the person gives within this range, then I will check whether he is eligible to vote or not. Okay. Else, what should I do? I should give a warning message, right? Invalid age. Understood? So this is called nesting. Okay, one if condition under another if condition. This is called nesting. Okay, and there can be any number of nestings. Even after this age greater than 25, if I want to subcategorized into the eligibility for standing in election, senior election, junior election, mid-age election, like that. If I want to subcategorize, and I can even do that by putting one more if condition. Okay, that becomes one more nesting. Okay, if condition inside another if condition is called nesting. So this is nested. Okay, and then the number of nesting, we have to give number of tabs. So if there are two, this is two nestings, so we have a tab. Okay, if you put one more if condition, age greater than or equal to 60, print senior. Okay, so suppose if I give 70 as the age, what happens? Can anyone tell me what happens if I give 70 as the age?
Senior.
Okay, only senior?
And can vote in election.
Yeah. So senior will be printed, and after that can vote in election. This will also be printed. Okay. If I give 50, 50.
Eligible to vote. No.
Yeah. So only this statement will get executed. This statement will not be executed because this is a false statement. Okay. Can you see how many tabs are here? So there are 3 nestings. So 3 tabs you have to give. 3 indentations you have to give. Understood? So this particular statement belongs to this if condition. Okay. Fine. Any doubts on this? Conditional statements. This is all about conditional statements. Okay. So I'm giving you one more assignment. This, if you solve, will be a very interesting problem. It might look very simple, but it is very interesting. Just try it. Okay. So the question is, you will be given with 3 angles of a triangle. So this you would have studied in your schoolings definitely. I hope you all know what is a triangle. And can you tell me what are the different types of triangle are there?
Equilateral, scalar.
Sorry?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. First is, what is the first type of triangle?
Equilateral.
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 Yeah.
Right angle triangle. And isosceles
Equilateral.
triangle.
Isosceles scaling.
Scalar.
Isosceles. And then scalar.
Mm.
These are the 3 major types of triangle. And then you have right isosceles. I'm not sure about the spelling. Please check the spellings. Right scaling. Is there a right equilateral triangle?
No.
Yeah, logically no. Correct. See, so these are the 5 different types of triangles, right? The input will be 3 angles. Okay, input is 3 angles of a triangle. I want you people to classify what under what triangle if I give, that input belongs to. Okay, fine. So you should understand which condition to be put first, which condition to be put second. All the things you have to understand, and what type of like condition statement you have to use, whether nested or whether cascaded. Okay, all those things I wanted people to work out for this example. Okay, this is the third assignment. Fine. So any doubts in the assignment or any doubts in the conditional statement? No doubts, right?
No, sir.
No. This you're not. This I wanted people to work this manually in a sheet of paper. Okay. Don't use system. I don't want you people to, for these assignments, I want you people to do it manually in a paper. Okay. See, there is always a rule called 80-20 rule. So if you follow this, you will become a great programmer.
What is the meaning of 80-20 rule?
Yeah. So 80% of the time, okay, you should solve it in a paper and pen. Okay, so if you see a problem, work it out in a paper, find out the logic, do all the calculations in a paper. Then within the 20% of the time, only will be required to do a program. Okay, so if you directly sit on a system and then start typing, nothing will come in. Only thing is you'll get confused. That's it. So if just follow this 80-20 rule. This will be very grateful. Fine. So I hope no doubts in the assignment as well as in this conditional statement. Now let's quickly look on the looping statement. So under looping statements, we have two types of looping statements. One is the for loop, another is the while loop.
While.
So what is for loop? See, in other languages, for loop and while loop can be interchangeable, right? Wherever you want to use for loop, you use while loop. Wherever you want to use while loop, you use for loop. Whereas in Python, we have defined a purpose for the for loop. It is nothing but it is used to iterate over the sequence types. Okay, so sequence types are nothing but the list, tuple, set, dictionary, string, all those things we'll be seeing in detail. Okay, so those are the sequence types. Iterate means to go through the element one by one. Suppose we have a list of some list, okay, list of students or list of grocery items that has to be bought. So you go through one by one, right? If you're taking in attendance, so you'll go through the students one by one. That is called iterating. Okay, so this for loop is used for iterating over the sequence type. So this specific purpose for the for loop, and while loop for general loops. Okay, so if you want to write a general loop for any logic in scenario, you use while loop. I'll tell the purpose as well. I'll give an example as well. General loops. General looping logics. Okay, so as of now, we haven't seen any sequence type, only string. That too we saw just for assignment. We haven't seen in depth about the sequence types. Okay, so instead of going into sequence types, we can see a function which is called a range function, which is used to generate sequence. This range function is also called as a sequence generator. Okay, we can define the range. Okay, under we can define the range and then ask the range function to give us a sequence that will provide us. I'll explain detail about this. This range function will take three parameters. One is the start value, the second parameter is the end value, and the third parameter is the step size. Okay, so start value, end value, and the step size. One simple example that I can give you is I want to print all the numbers or all the alternate numbers from 10 to 20. Alternate numbers means I want this output 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so to mention about the start and end, the start value is inclusive. Inclusive means it will come into the sequence, and this end value is exclusive. It will not come in the sequence. Okay, till end minus 1, the values will be printed. Okay, this will not be included in the sequence. So, and the step size is the jump size. So here twice, right? So from 10 it is going to 12, from 12 it is going to 14. So the step size here is 2. So to define the range for this, I should give the start value as 10 and the end value as 20 and the step size as 2. If I do this, I'll get this output. Okay. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, so we can see the different forms in the range function. First one is this, right? Okay. Now tell me how to print the multiples of 5 from 50 to 100. Can I define the range to print the multiples of 5 between 50 to 100? 50 is inclusive, 100 is not inclusive.
50, 105, 5.
50, 100.
5.
Yeah, so that.
Sir, it should be 105.
I don't, 100 is not inclusive. So it's 100, no problem.
Okay.
So now, okay, so the step size need not be positive always. Okay, suppose I want to print the multiples of 5 from 50 to 100 in reverse order. So what should I do? For this, the output would be 50, 55, 60, 65, like that it goes on. Okay, now I want the output as 100, 95, 90, 85, goes on till 50. I want 50 also to be included. 100 is also included, 50 is also included. So what should be the range?
100, 55,
Range
minus
of
5.
100, 55,
55, 55, minus 5.
minus 5. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I give 55, only till 50, right? But actually 50 is before 50.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I think Diksha has given the correct answer. 100, 45, 50. Sorry, 100, 45, minus 5.
So can you explain?
Yeah, I'll do. So let us make it simple. Let me give it a 75. Okay, so now what happens is the output will be 100, 95, then 90, 85, 80, and then next value that should be printed is 75, right? But 75 is the end value, which should not be inclusive. So 75 will not come. So I want 75 also to be printed. In that case, what should I do is either I should give, see, suppose if I give 76, now what happens? Even now I will not get 75, right? Because 75 is less than 76. I am going in reverse order. Did you get it? Suppose
Sir,
if I
if
give,
we take 74,
yeah, if we take 74, will 75 be printed or not? Will 75 be printed? Or should we give only 70?
sir, it is in the range, so I think it should be printed.
Yeah, correct. Okay, 75 will also be printed. It'll just check whether it is less than 74. That's it. I mean, if it is negative, then we check it is greater than 75. If it is positive, then we'll check less than. Okay. So now 75 is greater than 74, so it will be printed. Next number is 70. It is not in the range, so it will not be printed. That's all. See, to just if you want to see the output, I'll also explain the syntax for loop. So for is a keyword, okay, and I should have an iterator variable. Okay, so I'll tell the purpose of this iterator variable in, and then I'll give a sequence type. Okay, so here my sequence type is range of 100 comma 74 comma minus 5, and then I print this I. Okay, so this range function will produce this sequence, and this I, what it does is it will iterate over this range. Okay, this is the iterative variable. For every iteration of this for loop, it will take one number from this, from here. First it will take 100, then it will take 95, then 90, 85, like that it goes on. Okay, this I is going to hold these values. It's not that you should give only I. You can give any name to this. Okay, so since I is matching with iterator, I am giving it as I. It is not a rule to give I only. You can give any name. Okay, for this iterator variable. Let us see the output. Okay, can you see 100, 95, 90, 85, 80, and then 75 is also printed. Okay, I've given 74. So I give 75. Only till 80 is printed. It is printed. Okay, understood? Understood the purpose of range? Okay. So this is one. Am I audible? Okay. Yeah, so this is one version of range. So the second version of range is that, suppose if you want to increment the step size, okay, if you want the step size to be 1, okay, so I want to print the values from 50 to 60, all the values from 50 to 60. What I would do, I'll just put range of 50 comma 60 comma 1, right? Okay, I'll just give an end statement, because every time new line is printed, end is equal to space and then an empty print statement, give a new line. Okay. Yeah, so here you can see that the step size is 1. Okay, so if the step size is 1, I need not mention 1 over there. You can just remove it, because by default the step size is 1. Okay, to show the difference, I just copy and paste it again. Now the second for loop for the range function, I'm removing this one. Okay, you got it. You got the same output. Why? Because the default step size is 1. Okay, and one more version of this. The second version is only start and end, and the third version is only range of end. If I give only one parameter, what happens is it will take the default start value as 0 and the default step size as 1. Okay, so if I give for I in range of 5, can you tell me what would be the output of the last for loop? What is the output of the last for loop?
0 to 5. No,
Uh,
0 to 4.
Yeah, super. 0 to 4. Okay, so here I have not given the start value. So the start value is considered as 0. And then I have not given the step size as well. So step size is considered 1. So the end value is 5. So since the end value is 5, it is not inclusive. Okay, got it? So this is all about the range function.
So,
And yeah,
so what is the third print statement is doing in like,
this one,
yeah.
empty print statement. See, this is just to get me to the next line. Yes. See, if I remove this, what happens is everything will be messed up in a single line. See, this would be the output.
Okay.
It is just taking me to the next line. An empty print statement. Okay. So why we use end equal to space? See, if I do not use end equal to space, what happens is all the elements will be printed line by line. First 50, then 51, then 52 separate lines. Okay, so it will fill up the terminal. That's why I'm putting in this space. Yeah. Fine. If you take a matrix format, okay, so these are called rows, right? So whichever is horizontal are called, horizontal are called rows, and whichever is vertical are called columns, right? 0. So there are 4 rows and then 5 columns. Okay, and this particular cell is represented by 0, 0. Okay, likewise, and this particular cell is represented by 2, 3. Okay, so if I want to print or if I have only one row in my hand, I can use a single for loop, right? And if I have multiple rows, so what I have to do is I have to use a nested for loop, multiple rows. Okay, and each row is having multiple columns. So here there are 4 rows and each row is having 5 columns. So it is a 4 cross 5 matrix. So to represent this in a for loop, I'll just write it down first and then I'll explain. So for I in range of, so the first, this is called the external loop. Okay, the first loop will take care of the rows. So how many rows are there? There are 4 rows, or I can define R is equal to 4 and C is equal to 5. J in range of, see this J, this is the iterator for the second for loop. So here what we're trying to do is we're trying to understand how the nested for loop is working. Okay, so now what happens? I in range of R. So what is R? R is 4, right? So if R is 4, what all values does this range produce?
0 to 3.
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And this C will produce 0 to 4, right? 0, 4. Now, I simply print I, comma, j. Then use a separator is equal to comma, and then end is equal to space. Sorry. So can you see the nesting? What kind of nesting I have used? Okay, so here this for loop. Okay, these two or sorry, all these 3 lines. Okay, these 3 lines belong to this for loop, and this one particular line specifically belongs to this j loop. Okay, so now let us see the output, then you'll understand. Okay, so here what I'm printing is I'm printing I comma j. So the first value that is printed is 0 comma 0. So you can see that, so this loop is used for rows and this loop is used for columns. Okay, so if there are 5 columns, then this j loop should run for 5 times. There are 4 rows, so this I loop should run for 4 times. Okay, see, for every row, the first value I comma j, I comma j, I comma j. So the I value is common, right? Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This is the 0th row. And you can see the first row, okay, programmatically first row, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Right? Like that, the I represents 0 and then the j represents the column. So for this first column, all the values are 0. Here, all the values are 1, all the values are 2. Able to follow? Right? So the first loop, that is the external loop, is responsible for taking care of the rows, and the inner loop is responsible for columns. As simple as that. Okay. Now, so if it is confusing, I'll give you small exercises. So for input as 4, okay, I want this pattern to be printed. So if I give 5, then a 5 cross 5 pattern should be printed. Okay, based on the input, the pattern should expand or shrink. Okay, so now can you tell me what is the logic for doing this? First, I'll get n. Yeah, so let us take the first example. So how many rows are there in this first example?
4.
4 rows are there, and there are 4 columns. So if there are 4 rows, I loop should run for how many times?
4 times.
4 times. So can you define the for loop for 4 times? It will run for 4 times. For
I in range.
yeah, I in range of, you want just to run for 4 times. No need to worry about
N.
what would be the number.
N.
Yeah. So I actually, if you want to run it for 4 times, you have to give 4, but it depends on n. So if I give 5, it should run for 5 times. If I give 10, it should run for 10 times, right? So by default, generally I can give n. And how many columns are there?
N number of columns.
Yes. So for
J
j, okay,
in range.
don't
I.
even for by mistake don't give this as I, okay? So this is not correct. So one iterated variable should not be used in the nesting. So if it's a different for loop, okay, then you can use the same iterated variable. That is not a problem. If it is nested, okay, if it is nested, then you should give different iterated variables in range of n. Okay, so I have. Can I find the videos of this class? The previous days videos are removed from YouTube. See, actually, if you go to the ILM of the course, you can find it. See, can this one lecture video? Okay, this is day one's lecture video. You can just so this will be posted. Okay, within tomorrow morning posted. Yeah. So now I want this kind of a pattern. What should I print?
Print J.
Yeah, correct. So print J, comma,
End is equal to
in this case.
blank.
Okay. So any doubts in this, anyone? Okay. So simply to explain this, what happens here is this J loop will take the range from 0 to 4. Okay. So if n is 5. Now what happens? This is what the J value is going to hold, right? So that is why you're getting the output like this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this particular statement, these two statements are going to be executed 5 number of times, right? Because this I loop is going to run 5 times. So this I loop, I will take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will run for 5 times. That is why you're getting 5 rows as the output. Okay, this is the concept of nesting. Okay, fine. Now, so I want an output like this 5. Okay, if I give 5 as input, I want 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So can you tell me the logic for this? Yes.
J in range of I plus 1.
J in range of
I plus 1.
I plus 1. No, first define, tell me the for
I
loop.
mean for I in range of n.
First I want the I loop. How many times this I loop should run?
N times.
Yeah. So for I in, is it range or should I make it something else?
N.
1 to
See,
n.
yeah, if I want, see, I just want this I loop to run for 5 times. I can give any range. Okay, I can also give 10 comma 10 plus n. This will also run for 5 times. Okay, if n is 5. So if it's 10 to 15, okay, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it will also run 5 times. So it's not that you should always give n. You can define any start value and any end value. Only thing is we should run for 5 times. Even I can give 100 plus n. It is going to run for 5 times, n number of times, right? So it is not that always we should give n. Okay, yeah. So I have given n. So okay, fine. Now tell me how to define the J loop.
For J in range,
For J in range,
one
Range I.
one to n plus 1.
I'm sorry, 1 to
I plus 1.
1 comma I plus 1. Okay. And then what to print?
I.
J plus
Yeah.
1.
J plus 1 or I?
J.
Just J, right? Yeah.
So can we say range of I comma I plus 1?
No, actually, this is not correct, I think. See, first the 0, right? If I
Yeah.
give 1 comma 1, it will not be
It's
executing at all.
Yes, sir.
Right? 1 comma 1 means no.
1 comma n? No.
1 comma, if you give 1 comma n, then no. It is not, it will not vary. Every time the same number of outputs will be printed. This I concept is correct. Why? Because see, every in this I is increasing, right? For every iteration, I value is increasing. So here also it is increasing. The number of times the values are printed in each row is increasing. So this I concept is correct. The definition of start and end, there should be some change. Okay, so very simple. See here, the value that is being printed is 1. Okay, so if I make this as 1 comma n plus 1, now will this work correct?
Yes.
Yeah. See here, what the first time the loop iterates, the I value is going to be 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so n plus 1 is 6. If input n is 5, n plus 1 is 6. So the values are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what is I plus 1? The first iteration. The first iteration, I would take the value 1, right? So I plus 1 is 2. Okay. So the range 1 comma 2 means what? It's just 1, right? Are you able to follow, or is it confusing? Yes. Is it confusing or able to follow?
Can you repeat?
Guys, I could hear a lot of noise. Yeah. So the first time I loop, okay, it is going to I value is going to take the value 1. So I plus 1 is 2. So what is the range? Range 1 comma 2. Range of 1 comma 2. What is the answer? It's just 1, right?
Yes.
That's it. If I print j, I will get 1. So the second time I loop runs, the value is going to be 2. So what is 2 plus 1? It is 3. So what is the range of 1 comma 3? Range of 1, 3 is
1, 2.
yeah. So I got it. The second row. Okay. So this is the correct answer. Yes. CVR 18B81A. Kindly please mute. Yeah. Now, if we see the output, fine. So to practice this looping and nested looping, okay, you can define a lot of patterns like this, and then you can try it out. You can define your own patterns. You can define some character patterns, some design patterns. Okay, like a diamond, like a tree. So a lot of patterns are there. You can just try it out. Okay, I'll give you one like a complex pattern. Complex pattern is nothing but pattern consisting of more than one pattern. Okay. Okay. So if I give 7, okay. So is it okay that if I take some more time? Okay, so I'll quickly explain this particular pattern. This will be interesting. Okay. So I want this kind of pattern. The diagonals to be stars, okay, and the all other values to be hash. You can quickly think about the logic. So if I give 7, I want a 7 cross 7 pattern like this. Okay, where the diagonals are stars and then all other values are hashes. So do you want to think about this and take this also as an assignment? Okay, then let us do it that way. So you take this as the fourth assignment. Okay. Given the n value, print the following pattern. I'll just copy this assignment. Okay. So these are the 4 assignments I wanted people to try it out before coming to the next class. As well as the day 2 topics also will be open. Okay, day 2 topics, we have to use the conditional statements as well as the looping statement. Okay, so in looping statement, we have this while loop which is left out. Okay, so I think you can manage with the for loop itself. Next class, we will discuss about these exercises, assignments, as well as the while loop, and then we will continue the session. Okay, fine. So, any doubts in this particular session? You can ask me. Okay, fine. So now we can go to the previous day's topics. Okay. So in the first day topic, any doubts want to ask me with respect to iPractice or any other exercises you have done? Yeah. Thank you so much, Samuel. Yeah, you can just go through the like lecture video again if you have any doubts, or you can also like any doubts in a particular concept. You can just ping me in WhatsApp. Wasn't able to submit fourth question in iPractice. Okay.
Sir, for the iPractice,
Yeah.
I have submitted, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got one wrong. But I don't understand why that one I got it wrong.
Which question is wrong?
So I got 6 correct. I got one wrong. Question
Seventh
number
one
5.
is wrong.
Yes, sir, for me also, 7th one.
Okay. Okay, we'll discuss that.
I'm yet to attempt the 8, 9, 10, and the rest anyway. And it's fun. I mean, the problems are really interesting.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's see what is this problem. When management execute better.
Question 5.
Yeah, first we'll see 4, then we'll go to 5.
Okay.
This is just an input output program, no calculation, nothing. Okay, so I think you are confused with this 0.7L, right?
So,
Yeah, Bhumika?
in this particular question, actually, when I validated it, it says pass. But when I'm trying to execute the program, it is terminating suddenly. And also, when I was trying to submit it, it was saying that the program cannot be submitted and some test cases have failed.
Okay. See, one thing why it is getting terminated is, see, there is like threshold time. Okay, so within 1 minute or within 30 seconds, the terminal will get closed. Okay, so before that, you have to like quickly execute your code and then see the output. Okay, so you can once execute and then you can just click on validate and see the output. That is fine. If you want to give a different input and check whether your program is working, then you can execute. Okay, so I'll just show you what happens in the backend. So this is from the admin point of view. And one more thing, see if you have any doubts, okay, so in the right hand side bottom corner, you have this chat box. Okay, just click on that. Okay, you can raise your doubts. Whatever doubts you have, you can just raise it over.
Sir, but I'm not getting any reply from them.
Okay. So I'll ask my team to respond. Okay.
And also when I run the code, it's showing that too many online users. Please try again later. It's
That would have been because there is too many users would have been using. So that's not one. We'll increase this instance and then we'll be working fine.
okay, sir.
Okay. So can any one of you tell your username?
My username is Dojison, DODZ,
DO
DZ,
DZ. Oh, okay.
ISON. Yes, that's correct.
I got it. See, this kind of tracking happens. So whatever programs you have submitted, all those will be stacked above here, and how many submissions you have made, all those things, and what percentage as well comes over here. And the okay. So to just to see what mistake you've done, I'll just click on this number, and then I can see what program you typed, and then I can also see what mistake you've done.
That's interesting. I hope we'll be able to do all these things at the end of the course.
Sorry?
I hope we'll be able to develop systems like this at the end of the course.
So this is actually a 10-year-old company, not 10, 13, 12, 13 years old. So I've been doing this for training, development, all those things. So which question you have? I think you got accepted. Tickets sold for charity. You got 100%.
Seventh one, sir. Seventh one.
Seventh one. The question name, seventh one. Tickets sold for charity. Yeah. So who is having a mistake in seventh one? Samuel has got
Yes.
accepted. You can tell the username.
AP. Abhishek
18?
Dillal. ABHI.
ABHY.
SHEK.
Yes. Fine.
ABHI, sir. ABHI.
ABHI. Okay. Abhishek.
Jilla. Yes, sir. Third one.
You got 75% and mistake. So if I give the input as 5 and 50, okay, see, this is expected. Okay, you should get 1, 6, and 2, whereas you're getting 1, 6, and 3. Okay, just take this test case, 5 and 50, and then you can just work it out. Some of you are having doubts in fourth question, right? See, fourth question is just a simple print statement question. Okay, I'll just
So what is accepted PE?
accepted PE means there are any presentation. PE means presentation error. See, only if there is any like spelling mistake, that will be considered as an actual mistake. If you just leave a space, that is actually considered as a presentation mistake. And if there is any mismatch with the cases, for instance of uppercase you give lowercase, or instead of lowercase you give uppercase, that is also considered as a presentation mistake. Logical mistakes, spelling mistakes, okay, or if you miss any character, all those things are considered as logical mistakes. Okay, so it is just okay, so not much logic into the fourth problem. You just need to understand how to like print the last input, okay, using one decimal point. That alone you need to understand. That's it. That is the fourth problem. Okay. And people are having doubt in eighth problem also. What is the eighth problem? Nice to work with background music. Yeah. So this question, I think one of you asked this doubt in WhatsApp. May I know who was that? Okay, so I'll just explain this question. You can just listen to me. See, uh, Wisconsin State Fair is one of the largest midsummer celebrations in the Midwest Islands, showcasing the agricultural skills and process of the state. Uh, I've already shared my number. Yeah, this is my WhatsApp number. Okay. Yeah. So the event organizers hired few part-time employees to work at the fair and agreed the salary paid to them is are as given below. On weekdays, it is 80 per hour and weekends is 50 per hour. Justin is a part-time employee working in the fair. Number of hours Justin has worked in the week and weekdays is 10 more than the number of hours he had worked during weekends. So using this, we have to form using this, you have to form an equation. Let me again share the task for tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So once I finish it, I will show you. Okay. So if the total salary paid to him in the month is known, write a program to estimate the number of hours he had worked during weekdays and the number of hours he has worked during weekends. Okay, so I think the question is clear. Any doubts in the question? The answer I'll tell you how to do it. See, I'll just explain it quickly. So Justin is a part-time employee and number of hours he has worked in the weekdays is 10 more than number of hours he has worked in the weekend. Okay. And the input that will be given is the total salary he has got. Using this total salary, you need to find out how many hours he has worked on the weekdays and how many hours he has worked on the weekend. Okay, fine. Suppose, a minute. Okay, so let us consider for weekend. Okay, so it is x hours, x. Okay, so if it is for weekend, if it's x hours, for weekdays, how many hours? Yeah, so using this statement, you should be able to tell number of hours Justin has worked. The weekend is weekdays is 10 more than weekend. So what is weekdays hours? Yes. Yeah.
10 plus
X plus 10 or 10 plus 6. Both are 10. Okay. And now, so we know that for weekdays he's paid 80 rupees or 80 units, and then weekends he's paid 50 units. Okay. So what is the total amount? For weekend, it is 50, right? So he's working for X hours. So how to find the total for weekend?
15 to X
Yeah, great. So 50 into X plus
plus 18 to X plus 10.
80 into X plus 10. So this is equal to the number that is given. Okay, so this can be a variable. Okay, so as of now, let us take that as the answer. 2750. So just do the calculation. So it is 50x plus 80x plus 800 equal to 270. So what is 50x plus 80x? It is
130X.
130x plus 800 is equal to 2750. And what is 130x? Is equal to, if you take 800 to the right hand side, you get
1950.
1950. Okay, 1950. Or what is x?
One point something.
15.
No, it's 15. So it is 1950 divided by 130. Okay, you would get 50. Okay, so 1950 divided by 130, you get 15. Okay, so if x is 15, what is x plus 10?
Yeah, 25.
Yes, 25.
That's it. So these are the two values. Okay, so but how to do the calculation is, this n is a variable given by the user. Okay, so the answer is very simple. 130x is equal to n minus 800. Okay, so x is equal to n minus 800 divided by 130. Okay, so only if you do these calculations, you will be able to derive this formula. That's what I told you, right? 80-20 rule. Okay, so all these are paperwork. So only if you do this paperwork, you will get this answer. So just do this as a single statement. Okay, what you will do, you will just get a number. N is equal to int of input of, okay, and then so this is enter the total salary paid. And then you will get the x. You are using double division, floor division. Okay, why you are using floor division? Because I need an integer.
Okay.
And then now I got x. Samuel, please mute.
Sorry, sir. Sorry for that. So sorry.
No problem. No problem. So print number of weekday hours is comma x plus 10, right? Print number of weekend hours is x. That's all. Okay, only 4 lines of code. I save, I execute, I give to 750. I get the output. Now I validate. I got the answer. Then I submit. Okay. See, very simple, right? Any doubts in this?
No, sir. Clear.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Any other doubts in any other questions which you have tried?
10th, sir.
10th one.
And question number 5.
Yeah, we look into it. Okay. So Planet Kids Entertainment Fair is back to delight kids and parents. The fair will have non-stop entertainment while an extravagance of games, exciting rides, sports, blah blah. Okay. So few lucky attendees in the fair will be given a pack of candies as the lucky gift, and the show coordinator has assigned you the task for choosing the number of attendees who will receive the pack of candies. There are N candies available, and you need to decide how many candies to place in each pack. Each pack must contain the same number of candies. You should choose an integer A between 1 and n inclusive and place exactly A candies into each pack. You should make as many packs as possible, but since you enjoy eating candies very much, you eat the remaining candies. Okay, fine. Write a program to calculate the pack size of A so that you can eat as many candies as possible. If multiple pack size will result in the same number of leftover candies, then print the largest pack size. Okay, fine. So this also, if you do a small calculation, you will understand. Okay, first let us take 5. Then we'll come to 2 because 2 is a special case. Okay, so if I see the question is there will be n candies that will be given. Okay, these are individual candies. 5 means you have 5 separate candies. I want to packet them. Okay, the packet size can be 1, packet size can be 2 or 3, 4 or 5, whatever it can be. So if I pack the candies, okay, with the packet size as 1, that is in each packet I am putting 1 candy. So how many packets will I get?
5.
Yeah. So how many leftover candies will be there?
0.
0. Okay, everyone understood? So if I put
Yes.
1 candy in each packet, I'll get 5 packets, and then there will not be any remaining candies at all. So I cannot enjoy any candy, right? So if 1, I'll just write the remainder, okay? If 1 is the packet size, I'll get 0 candies. Okay. If 2, if I'm packing with 2 candies per packet, so how many packets I'll get?
2.
Yeah, I'll get 2 packets,
With 1 leftover.
one left over.
One
So I'll also write the packet size, number of packets. Okay. So first is the number of candies per packet, and this is number of packets, and this is leftover. Okay. So 2, number of packets also will be 2, and leftover is 1. If it is 3,
then 1 and left over
yeah, I'll get 1, and the number of leftovers will be 2. If it is 4,
2. 1, 1.
yeah, 1, and leftover will be 1. If it is 5,
It's 0, 0.
1, and then 0. Right? So when am I getting the maximum? The packet size is 3, right?
3. Yes.
Okay. So this is for 5. Let's take for 7. So 1, 7, 0. Right? 2, 3, 1. Right? 3,
2,
2,
1.
1. 4,
1,
1, 3. Then 5, 1, 2, 6,
1 1
1, 1,
7
7,
0.
1, 0. Here also I'm getting 4 as the answer. Okay, so for even numbers, I can see, sorry, for odd numbers, I can tell that the middle value is coming as the correct output, right? The greatest number. So 5, it is 3. For 7, it is 4. For 9,
It will be
what would be the answer?
5.
5, correct. Okay, so for 21,
11.
11.
yeah, 11 would be the answer, right? So, like, if I give 5, how to get 3? What operation should I do to get 3?
Average.
Average means, can you tell me with respect
I
to
mean,
Python?
initial value and final value by 2. 1 plus 5 by 2.
1 plus 5 by 2. Yeah, okay. So if I simply put 5 by 2, I will get only 2, right? Yeah, correct.
Truncate, I mean, we get only 2 value.
Very good. So it is 1 plus n, floor division by 2. Okay, so for odd numbers, we have validated. For even numbers, we have to check again, right? So for 4, what is the answer? Okay, let us do 1, 4, 0. Okay, 2, 2, 0. 3, 1, 1, right? 4, 1,
0.
0. So let us not conclude with 4 alone. For 6, 1, 6, 0. 2,
3
3,
0
0. 3,
2 0
2, 0. 4,
1
1,
2
2, 5, 1, 1, 6,
1 0.
1, 0. Okay, so if I apply the same operation, 1 plus n by 2, will I get the answer here? So it is 5 by 2, 3. The 6 by 2, sorry, 7 by 2 is also 3. Sorry, 5 by 2 is 2. Okay, and then 6 by 2 is, sorry, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 by 2 is 3. So I'm not getting the answer for
Even number.
even number. Okay, so one thing I can do is I can do an if else statement over here. If it's odd number, a different logic. If it's even number, a different logic. That I can do. But this comes under the topic operators, right? We haven't seen about like if condition at all while solving this problem, right? So we have to think with respect to operators. So what we can do to generalize is, if I do 2 plus n by 2, here is a floor division, right? So what is 5 plus 2? It is 7. 7 floor division 2,
3.
3, right? Okay. So 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 floor division 2,
4.
4. So this is working for odd number. For even number, 6 floor division 2, 3, right? And 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 floor division 2, we get 4. That's it. Okay. So it is a simple one line program. So just get the input. print n plus 2 floor division 2. Okay, I'm getting 3. I'm getting 2. That's all. Okay, I validate, pass, and then I submit. Accept it. See, if you do paper and pen work, programming becomes very simple. Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
So, any other doubts? Fourth one. Yeah, this we already discussed, right? See, it is a simple print statement. You're getting the input and then printing it. That's all. No calculation, nothing. Just take the input, print it.
If it's said pass, how I know if I have another mistake or something? Because it said pass
Okay.
when I
Yeah, yeah.
submitted, it said wrong.
Can you tell me your email ID, username?
Abdul Majid. You
Second one?
Abdul Majid. No, Abdul Majid M.A.
Can you put it in the chat box? There's too much noise. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sir. I enter
No,
with
I want your
another email. This
email
one.
ID.
This one. Yes.
Yeah. You haven't submitted.
Number 4.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so you can see there are 3 decimal points. The input, the expected is only 1 decimal point. So you use percentage point 1f. You'll get the correct answer. See, if you use format and then print, what happens is all the values will be printed. Okay, so you'll get 1.505 as your output, but the expected is only 1.5. Okay.
Yeah, sir. Definitely.
But why did they mention maximum length of string as 50?
In which problem?
I mean, fourth problem itself.
No. See, it is just a restriction. Like, no need to worry about that because
Okay, if we extend the maximum, I mean, 50, more than 50, then what will happen, sir, then?
no, see, it is just an assumption,
Okay.
right? Assuming that the maximum length is 50. So it means that input length will not be greater than 50. That's all.
Okay.
You need not write any constraints for this. Okay.
Okay.
No need to check whether the length or not. So it is just an assumption. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll share you the tasks for tomorrow. Next class should be on Saturday, right?
So you haven't attempted my question number 5.
Okay. This question, see, okay. See, I'll just tell you what is this question about. See, suppose you are conducting an event, right? So in an event, you have a lot of expenses. So they have mentioned what are the expenses that are happening. So branding, for travel, for food, and for logistics. So for these different types of expenses, they are telling you what is the amount. Okay, so for branding, 20,000. For travel, it is for 40,000. Okay, and for food, 15, and then for logistics, 25. So these four are the inputs. And your task is to find out what is the total expense. Okay, so 20 plus 40 plus 15 plus 25, you will get 1 lakh. Okay, so 1 lakh is the total expense. Okay, or in so 1 lakh in Indian terms, so it is 100,000, right? So 100,000. And so you have to find out the percentage for each expense. So what
I don't know
is
if I can. I don't know if I can take you back a minute, sir. Is it? I've done all those calculations, but I think my problem is with the printer. So if you can just look at my code and
okay?
assist me with that, I'll be grateful. I got the percentages by the presentation. I wasn't getting the 2 point decimal place or something.
Yeah. So
So
your email ID, please.
DODZI
DO.
DZI. Yes. Five.
Rounding off we just have to round it off. That's it. No other mistakes are there. You haven't rounded off. All the answers are correct only. Just use percentage point to F before printing. Okay.
Okay. That has been my biggest headache.
Okay. You just round it off, you will get the correct answer.
Okay, then I'll look at that again. Then I have some few general questions. I don't know if I'm permitted to ask here or maybe privately.
Yeah, you can
Looking at the
ask
time.
me. You can ask doubts.
Okay, so I've really enjoyed your lesson and your platform is great. I haven't come across a platform like this before. And I'm interested in some of the other courses.
Thank you.
I realize you provide a lifetime access. So the
Okay.
first question is, with this very course that we are doing, are we going to get a lifetime access of the resources?
Lifetime. I'll just check with my team.
Okay.
So for lifetime access, I don't know the validity. I'll just check and tell you. Okay, no issues. Next class I'll tell you.
Okay.
Or I'll ping
And
you on WhatsApp.
okay, so kindly check on that. And if I should subscribe to a new course right now, would it be added to this very one for me, or
Which course you
it
want
will not
to
be
see?
added?
You can just
I want to take 2 courses.
visit our website e-box.co.in.
Yes, I'm currently there. I'm interested in the MySQL and I'm interested in machine learning.
Okay. So machine learning courses is not up as of now.
Okay.
So you can see IT skill courses, electronics, role-based courses.
Yeah.
Just click on that. See, these many courses are available. We can just take up, just see.
The complete MySQL, yes.
Yeah, first.
And also, are we going to have interaction with the course teachers like the way we are doing right now? That one will just be recorded, then we'll go and watch the recording, and that will be it.
I'm sorry, Sanjay. You couldn't get
I'm
you.
saying if I should subscribe for the MySQL course right now, would I have an opportunity to speak to the course tutor like we are doing now, or it's just going to be myself and then the
No, it
recorded?
is going to be yourself, and there will be supporting videos as well. See, like 11 hours of lecture videos is available. So every
Okay.
concept will be explained.
So after the videos, I'll have an opportunity to speak to the lecturer.
If you want, you can request for a live session. There is a possibility to request for a live session. You can just do that. So
Okay.
see, there is always you can just raise your queries over here. Just click on this. If you have any doubts, just raise your queries. Someone will be answering.
Okay. I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, any other doubts? Others? Okay, fine then. We can meet in the next class. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sam. Okay, so if you are getting error, you can just ping me in WhatsApp. Error in the sense like if you find any difficulty with respect to the platform, like
But I
many
mean, when
users.
you're executing, it's showing continuously that too many
Yeah.
users in online. Please try again later.
Okay. So now it is okay. So yesterday the server
And
was a bit
also,
slow.
score
That's
was
why.
not updating properly.
Even now,
I mean, I
see
have
now it is
solved
working properly.
8 out of 12, but it's showing 5 out of 12.
Oh, in that ranking, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that will get updated. Not a problem. So
Okay.
if you get it accepted, then fine. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you.